After a few days learning about some of the history of Cambodia, we caught a bus from Phnom Penh to Sihaunoukville, where we took the most horrendous boat ride but ended up on the beautiful island paradise of Koh Rong. Our plan here was to spend some time relaxing and living our island dreams, and it was everything we'd hoped for and more, including seeing breathtaking bioluminescent plankton. We stayed right on the beach in a fun hostel where we met a ton of cool people and had a refreshing break from the chaos of the city.
We've just arrived at the ferry port, and she did say we could get on the boat now, which leaves at 2. It's currently 1:45. We were actually booked on the one for 3, but we're going to stick around a little bit and go get some food and stuff first, because we don't want to sit on the boat for another hour and then still have to get to our accommodation on the other side without having any lunch or anything. There is a toilet here and also 7-Eleven and a bunch of food places, so there's a fair amount to do and chill out at while you're waiting for your boat, so it's not too bad. That was rough. The sea was quite rocky anyway, and then at one point the engine cut out or something happened and the boat stopped, so we were just chilling there in this random patch of rocky water. I was like, oh god, I'm gonna be sick. I'm sat there with my eyes closed, just thinking, oh my god, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. We got off the boat at Longset Beach and then we walked to our hostel. It's about a 25-minute walk. It's absolutely roasting. I'm dripping with sweat. It was uphill, then downhill, then uphill again. But it took probably about 25 minutes, so it's not too bad. Also, we probably didn't need to book our tickets in advance because the tickets that you buy at the port were the same price as the ones online. But we have had bad experiences in the past where we have paid more at the port because we weren't too sure what we were doing, so we just didn't want to get ripped off again as foreigners. So at the top of the hill we said it's about a 25-minute walk, but you probably want to add about another 10-15 minutes to get down the hill, figure out where you are, and we're probably not going to do this walk back because it's a bit treacherous. Massive. We're going to go for a swim in the ocean now because we're boiling hot. The waters around Koh Rong is one of the places where you can see bioluminescent algae, and they do tours where you swim in it at the end, but we've just heard from some people at our hostel that they were actually just swimming on the beach and they managed to see some. So we're going to go and have a look now, see if we can get lucky and find some.
We found a hermit crab.
we're gonna call it a night on the Plankton for tonight because the cloud cover is just too thin. And we do have 3 more nights here, so fingers crossed we'll get to see some another night.
We didn't show it yesterday, but the hostels are actually split into like the dorms and the bar and their individual buildings, and it's kind of in the middle of the jungle. And there's so many dogs here and they're so cute.
The water is really clear, but it's tinged green, and it's because there's a lot of algae in it. But we think that algae is the sea sparkle, which makes shows the bioluminescence. But we couldn't tell last night because it was too dark, so we'll probably try again later and maybe come out a bit further. But the reason we think it's that is because it's a bit stingy, and apparently the ones in Cambodia sting when, they can sting your skin. Every day since we've been here, the water seems to be getting clearer and clearer. So I don't know whether when we first arrived there was a big storm or something that stirred everything up, but it's so nice, it's so peaceful. And we went out late last night to have a look for the bioluminescent plankton, and we managed to find some, and it was so magical, but you can't get it on film very well, which is really annoying, so we can't show it. The hostel that we're staying in does events every day, like a different event each day. And on a Sunday, it's a roast dinner, and it was so good. After being away from home for so long, so tasty. The beach is much calmer here, there's not anybody else on it. And then just behind me is the port that we got dropped off at, so you can just walk down the beach to the hostel. When we booked this place, we saw on the reviews that you can walk down the beach to get to the hostel from the port, but we didn't do that because we read that this river sometimes overflows and it's really treacherous to cross. So we went all the way up along the road and then back down again. But having seen it now, we wish we'd have just come down the beach. It would have taken us way less time, a less difficult journey, and I mean, it's not that bad at the minute. I don't know what it's like when it's peak rainy season, but right now it's not too bad. There are a bunch of dogs on the island. I don't know where they belong or if they just roam the island freely, but they're really tame and they all kind of lead you places. So we just had one that led us through that river back there, and it just makes us think of the waterfall doggo from Ipoh. This feels like a dumb idea, out of something from a scary movie. We're literally just following the wild animal through the jungle, who just so happens to be going the way we want to go. you can rent kayaks from our hostel. So our plan for today is to rent one, and then we're gonna head to that island just out there. It's about 2 kilometers away, but apparently there's a coral reef and a temple, and it's really nice to go out for a couple of hours. So when we first set off, the water was quite calm, but as we got closer and closer to the island, the waves got more choppy because the wind picked up. So we were like kayaking against the wind, which was difficult. And now the waves are getting quite rough. So we figured we're just gonna have to chill on this island for a little bit and hope that the waves die back down. But there's a temple on here, and we're gonna go and find the coral reef now. So. We came back, we showered, we managed to kayak out to that island, but somehow timed it so that it ended up that we were against the wind in both directions, so that was pretty tiring. But once we got there, we got our snorkels and we saw so many fish and things, and we saw like anemones and sea urchins, and it was just so good. So now we're gonna go for a walk because there's a town nearby, so we're gonna go and find that. We walked kind of around the headland, and this part of the island is actually really touristy, but where we are it's like dead, there's nobody else around. It's really weird that there's this town here and it's so busy, because from our side of the island it's like completely dead, there's no one else around, so it's kind of a surprise to come round the corner, like 10-minute walk if that, and see so much going on. In the town we found this little bakery called Ma Baker, which we'd seen on TikTok but we couldn't find it on Google because it just didn't show up, so then we just kind of forgot about it. It just so happened we walked past it and we got a pasty each. So I got chicken and mushroom, and George got ham, cheese and peas. This is so tasty. Because we're right by the sea, having a pasty at the beach just feels like holiday. We're just trying to head back pretty quickly now because we've just noticed some huge dark grey clouds, so we think it's gonna rain. We're checking out of our hostel now. We're walking back to the town to go and get a ferry because we haven't pre-booked one. We're really sad to be leaving because we've had a good time, but we cannot wait to have proper aircon and to just not be sandy for once.